Welcome to the Moon Tribe podcast. I'm Simona Shimanovic, your host. I'm here to inspire heart-led entrepreneurs and conscious leaders to follow their purpose and create a life of freedom, wealth, and magic. Welcome back, tribe. Today I have a short and sweet message that I feel is really at the heart of Aquarius season, the time that we are just navigating through. And in our last episode, I gave you a big download of Aquarius energy, which is a very advanced energy. It's a sign that is out there and there's a lot of complexity in it. But one theme I feel is really prominent, and also I would say one of the Aquarian superpowers. Because many Aquarians I speak with have experienced that quite strongly, and they really have been through these teachings. And I think so many of us in the spiritual community can relate to it. And it starts with the question, have you ever felt like you're a little bit different? Like you don't really fit into society, into the mainstream narrative, into this idea how you're supposed to live your life? I think often society has a very linear narrative of, grow up, go to school, get good grades, go to university, study this, get married, get a good job, earn lots of money, have children, raise your family. When you're retired, you're allowed to have some fun, maybe. Just as a short version, right? So there's a kind of an expectation in society that is passed down to us, the steps to a successful life. And what I feel is very important is for us to step back and question it, because often, I think many of us have probably experienced that even when you followed all these steps, it doesn't necessarily lead to happiness. It doesn't necessarily lead to a fulfilling life. I think so many people get stuck trying to live up to these expectations to make other people happy, maybe their parents, maybe someone else in the family or close who have these expectations on you. So that is the superpower of Aquarius, is to break free from all of this and be prepared to walk off the beaten path. Don't follow the herd. Don't just do what everyone else is doing just because everyone else is doing it. You don't even know why you're doing it. You're just doing it to fit in. Right? That's such a big one, I think, and such a big one to become aware about. Because all the layers of people pleasing, trying to fit in, trying to be everything to everyone while getting exhausted and burned out. And I'm speaking from experience as well, with whole journey around people pleasing that I will go into much more on the podcast. And I know that many of my clients have been really struggling with this. I think especially as women, we can be especially susceptible to this idea that we need to, make other people happy. And often it doesn't really make us ourselves very happy. So there's a whole unraveling that gets to happen to really recover ourselves, our values, and to be able to really truly live our purpose. We sometimes also need to make unpopular decisions, right? You will have to say no to some people. If you're an entrepreneur, you probably know this, right? You will have to be very clear where you are going, and some people might not like it. Maybe even your partner or your parents or your best friend, maybe they don't get it. Maybe they will be criticizing you or saying like, really, do you really think you're going to pull this off? Maybe you're the one who has a big vision for your life. And this big vision is also spirit wanting to come through you, to be expressed through you. So it's not even just you, but it's like, it's a divine mission. But not everyone around you is gonna get it. So for me, that's why let's all extract together this superpower from Aquarius. Aquarius, and I want to say to the Aquarians listening, I know that for you, this isn't really also a choice. This is kind of something you have already signed up before you came down here on Earth. So I know many Aquarians, they were pushed into that in a difficult way, that they have to really find their own way without just being accepted in society. But when you go through this baptism of fire, I want to say, in the olden days, if you were thrown out of your village or if you were abandoned from your tribe, that was like a big problem. It was like a survival issue, right? Are you going to be able to make it by yourself? Are you going to survive? So there's this very instinctive, and of course you see it in the animal kingdom everywhere. It's like fitting in and fitting into the hierarchy and taking your place there. And there's not so much mobility in it. So belonging to the group, this kind of group pressure is very ingrained in us. It's a first chakra, big time first chakra survival issue. So it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot of inner clarity to be able to pull this off. So I also find it interesting because, as I talked about in the last time, Aquarius is like we're nearly coming full circle in this journey of human evolution. And I think it's interesting that this is such a central theme in Aquarius. Are we prepared after we have gone through our personal journey, through our family, through our relationships, building our business? Are we prepared to walk away and walk our own path and really follow our own compass, no matter what anyone else is saying? And I think it takes a high level of maturity and a high level of personal power to do that. And having said that, it's of course a great teacher of strengthening our personal power, right? Because I also know many of my clients, they are struggling with this. They are starting to grow their business, but for example, their family is not really supporting or their partner is not really supporting. And that has quite a big impact on your morale, right? So that's why also in my experience, it's so important to find your tribe, right? To find your people who get you, who are fully on board with your vision, who see your potential and who help you on the way. So it's like place yourself into these environments. And for me, working with my mentors has been a huge game changer. When I'm holding space for my clients in the group program, there's such a friendships and such a bond that can grow because, you know, we are in this together. And maybe many people on the outside don't really get it, but you need to have some people in your life who support you, who cheer you on, and who are in it with you. Because all by yourself, it's possible, but I think it's very hard. Actually, I think it's very hard. So that feels somehow really important to bring through. So maybe after the Capricorn season where we are, you know, discovering our purpose, following our purpose, this is really a requirement. Dare to walk your own path. Especially you might be bringing something new, something different. And that also brings me to really owning our power as conscious leaders. Often to be a leader, you already have to stand out from the crowd, which is already scary for many of us. So are you willing to step up? Are you willing to be different? Even in a positive way. Are you willing to be an inspiration for others? Are you willing to be a role model for others? because that is what is required. So others can also connect to this energy in themselves. And I remember years ago when I was living in London, I was fortunate to see the amazing Marianne Williamson, who is an absolutely amazing speaker. And she shared beautiful wisdom with us about, the Course in Miracles. And she dropped something on the talk that really got me thinking. And I just feel I want to share it with you in this context. It was something around that as a spiritual community around the world, and there are many people in this community around the world, if you think about it. But we have to really start owning our power. We have to stop letting ourselves just be on the sidelines as crazy hippies, as, woo-woo, because that is all a little bit like, are we really gonna allow ourselves to be put on the side like this any longer? Because we have so many powerful tools. We have so many powerful practices. We have so much wisdom amongst us. I mean, just imagine as a community. And the world truly needs this leadership with wisdom. So I feel that it's nearly now becoming part of our responsibility to step up into this role of leadership. Because look at the leaders we have right now, if you can call them leaders. So going back to Aquarius. Aquarius is about celebrating our individuality, saying we are all different, we are all unique, we are all our own magic unicorn, we are all different, we're all bringing our magic, but we are equal, but we are different. That is very much the Aquarian understanding. And it has to do with non-conformity, not conforming to the group pressure. Just because everyone is saying it or everyone is doing it doesn't mean it's necessarily right. And I think in the last years, we've had some really tough lessons around this. And you can look back and ask yourself, how easy do I succumb to the group pressure? So it's a big one. It's a big one for humanity as a whole, I would say. So we can ask ourselves, how can you bring this energy of your individuality, celebrating your uniqueness into your business and into your life? Because that's your superpower. If you're trying to be like everyone else, you're not really going to stand out as well. That's a problem in your business. So how can you celebrate your magic sauce, your magic, what makes you uniquely you? No matter if people like it or not, right? That's the other part of it. Are you prepared to own it if people like it or not? And especially with all our social media, we're so hungry for all the likes and do people like me? Are people following me? And I know it myself, right? And also as an entrepreneur, it's a big one. Like, are you gonna place your value on how many likes you get? Because that's a route. I don't know if we should go down that route. Rather, let it come from the inside out. What do I stand for? And I trust that the right people are gonna be attracted to my message. So the questions are, where are you following rules that are outdated or that you don't really feel aligned with? Where are you compromising yourself just to fit in? And that's a big one to look at on a personal level and also in your business. So I want to leave you with a beautiful quote. I think maybe many of you know it. And it just came to me now as I was thinking about and preparing this episode for you. It's attributed to Jack Kerouac. And for me, it really nails this message of daring to be different. So let me read it to you. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They are not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, disbelieve them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing that you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They invent, they imagine, they heal, they explore, they create, they inspire. They push the human race forward. Maybe they have to be crazy, because the ones who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do. With this, I'm sending you so much love, and please remember to share your magic. I have something special for my conscious women who are listening. I'd love to invite you to our Cosmic Sisterhood Moon Tribe Circle. Many of my clients have shared that they don't have so many people in their life who truly get it and with whom they can talk about the moon and all things magical. So I created this space for us to connect with other women on the spiritual path who are also into astrology, tapped into their intuition, fascinated by ancient wisdom, and who truly speak your language. In our New Moon Circle, once a month we come together online with sisters from all over the world to share and set our intentions together. It's such a beautiful heart space to feel supported and nourished on a deep soul level. So if you're craving this in your life, and if you would like to join us, you can find out more on the link in the show notes. And you can try the first month with the half price with the code Moon Magic. Hope to see you soon in our next circle. Thank you for listening to the Moon Tribe podcast with me, Simona Shimanovic. I'd love to share my free abundance meditation with you. Go to simonashimanovic.com and join the tribe.